Hello and welcome everyone to another StarCraft 2 England cast. Today I have got a game between iSPyre and MilStephano. So this should be a really top game. It is on the ladder, so nothing too amazing going on. It's not a tournament or anything, but obviously MilStephano, he's on the biggest winning streak ever. MilStephano just can't lose at the moment. He's like incredible. So anyway, we've got MilStephano in the bottom right as the red Zerg player, and we have got iSPyre in the top left as the blue Terran player. Now, as some of you observant people who've watched my streams before may have noticed, I have got a new overlay. It's a temporary one. I'm going to get an even cooler one done soon, and also my kind of cover intro screen, I'm going to get a new one as well. But this is just kind of a taster of kind of class things up a bit. So hopefully that will all go well. The map is of course Tal'Darim Altar. It is the ladder map, so nothing too spooky going on here. Obviously great, nice, easy, natural base, because, I mean, this map is huge, so both players will be getting a nice early expansion. Downside for MilStephano, though, is these rocks. These rocks are horrible. It means his third base is going to be super delayed, because he's got to go a mile away, and that means his whole army will be really, really out of position if he wants to defend it, and he'll be vulnerable to everything from Hellions to kind of even just a tank marine push. So it'll be interesting to see how MilStephano deals with that. Obviously, the tank marines can do some interesting stuff, positioning tanks on the low ground here, can hit up into the natural base. It's so many cool shenanigans that can go on. Meanwhile, we will see that iSPyre is going for just a very, very standard wall off here, just in case anything crazy was happening, not going for a command center first or anything like that. And he is getting one gas down. Now, what does one gas mean in a TVZ? It means reactor Hellions. Most of the time. I mean, obviously it could be a Reaper, but let's face it, every Terran player gets reactor Hellions against Zerg. It's just dumb. Meanwhile, MilStephano, just wanting to keep this game, you know, as the standard TVZ, he's going for a hatch first. So, hatch first build, it's what Zergs do against Terran players. So, both these players don't want to do anything crazy this match, at the start at least. So, will be interesting to see if it does stay that way. Are they both going to play straight up, or is one of them going to do something a bit unusual? We will see MilStephano is getting his pull down. Meanwhile, just that orbital command getting constructed here for iSPyre. Again, just getting this wall off finished. Nothing crazy going on. There's one marine out just guarding this ramp. He's just like, hey guys, I'm all alone out here. If there is going to be a 6 pool, I'm going to die. But he's not going to die, because there isn't a 6 pool, and this SCV is going to scout that hatch and be like, hey, MilStephano's doing exactly what MilStephano does. He's going to be getting drones, and he's going to come in and he's going to see that gas is on its way down. Going to see that drones are being transferred into it, and that really is getting iSPyre all the information he needs. So, what's going on? I mean, here we go. There goes the factory. So reactor Hellions is what it's going to be. And coming down here, we will just see MilStephano's getting 2 queens out simultaneously. Perfectly normal. We'll probably get a third just to defend against those Hellions. That marine just patrolling backwards and forwards, making sure that no Zerglings sneak through to scout. And I mean, iSPyre just getting down his command center at his natural. That factory is going to finish off. Hasn't actually started the reactor yet, which is a bit unusual. So may not be doing something completely ordinary, but there we go. It's actually a tech lab going down, so it's not going to be reactor Hellions. He's like, nah, I'm going to do something different just to confuse you. So always good. He's not going for the completely standard play. MilStephano's still getting out that spine though, which just means he will be defended super easily from anything early going on. Meanwhile, just getting those gas, getting speed up, getting 3 overlords out of 1, so MilStephano's just going to be completely hammering his drone production there. Getting another queen out as well, so 3 queens obviously means creep spread will be going crazy. Meanwhile, we will see that this Hellion is just going to come and wander around. That Zergling is going to run away. Doesn't even know it's there, but it's going to run away in preparation. Meanwhile, we see that iSPyre is going for 3 barracks, and he's actually switched that tech lab over, getting blue flame here. So blue flame Hellions are on the way now, which is a bit more unusual than reactor Hellions, but it'll be interesting to see how iSPyre uses those. So can't wait. Could do a lot of damage. Blue flame Hellions are still pretty damn powerful if they do get in your base and be killing your drones, but hopefully for MilStephano's sake he'll be able to do something about this. Getting some creep spread, not actually linking up the bases yet, just going for some creep spread at the front of his base, trying to push out to prevent those Hellions getting too far in. Obviously Hellions are scared off by creep because their wheels just skid and slide all over it. Meanwhile, the Zerg player can get a nice easy surround on creep on the Hellions as well. So this is a good move, moving the spine crawler forward as well, just keeping those Hellions back. Meanwhile, this Hellion's just going to poke around, see what's going on, see if the rocks are still there, which of course they are, because rocks are a Zerg player's worst nightmare. Meanwhile, Pyro just getting out a starport as well, so we'll probably see some medevacs come out really super soon. Those Zerglings are just being pulled back to make sure they don't get killed. That Queen and the second Queen are kind of moving forward just to make sure that everything is fine. That Spine Court is moving forward, and that was a brief opportunity for Pyro to move out and get into Stephano's base, but didn't quite go for it, which I think is probably a good move. Meanwhile, the medevac is on its way out, so we may see some drop play here as well. Drops are awesome, of course. Really puts off the Zerg player. A reactor now going down on this factory, so this is a bit of a peculiar build from Pyro at the moment. Is going Blue Flame Reactor Hellions, moving that barracks onto the tech lab, so who knows, this could be really effective. It could hit a nice, slightly unusual timing Stephano may not be expecting. And here we go. 4 Hellions are on the way, quite a few Marines and a medevac. A second medevac isn't on the way quite yet, so who knows what will go down. These Zerglings are going to move forward though, and they're not going to be spotted by Pyro, I don't think. Oh no, he doesn't just manage to see it on the watchtower, but there's no units here at the moment. The wall-off goes down, but all of these SCVs could get killed super quickly, and that of course would be terrible for Pyro there. I mean, he can't get them back in because if he opens up that wall, it's going to take even more damage. So a couple of SCVs are going to go down, but Pyro's main army is obviously back now, and those Blue Flame Hellions will do huge damage, but obviously that gives away the Blue Flame is there. Stephano's response, I'm going to build 2 Spires. So we're going to see mass upgraded air units basically from Stephano here. He's getting more Spine Crawlers out as well. 2 more at his natural, not getting any up at his main base, getting a macro hatch though coming out pretty damn well. Still, we will see a medevac drop is going to be coming in with those Blue Flame Hellions, so he will try and drop them down here, but obviously 2 Spines will make short work of them with the Zerglings as well. The main base is a bit vulnerable, to be honest. I mean, could get a drop in there, but obviously it has been scouted because Stephano has got this watchtower down. Meanwhile, if we take a look at Pyro's base, we will see that, I mean, Stim's coming down, another command center is on its way up here, so rocks haven't been killed yet, but obviously can float it out to there or just use it for the SCVs. And here comes the Hellion drop now. I mean, I don't actually think that Stephano knows it's there quite yet, so hasn't actually moved any units, and Pyro's just actually choosing to wait. All these Zerglings are actually taking out the rocks, so they are way out of position. Meanwhile, 4 Hellions are coming up the front, which will get scouted, and this is kind of a bait, trying to get Stephano to move those Zerglings forward to take out those Hellions. And here we go, in the main base, we are going to see them move in, and this could do quite a bit of damage. Obviously, Blue Flame Hellions do huge damage. Stephano is managed to pull up, lining up a little bit there. That could have been very dangerous. No, quite a few drones do go down there. A couple more going on. This is just taking massive drone damage here. And the Zerglings will come back. The 4 Hellions at the front were cleaned up, I think. The Mutalisks are also out now as well. If we take a look at what was killed there, 15 drones. That was actually pretty nice. I'm not going to lie. Pyro doing a good job. I love the way he brought those Hellions to the front just to bait out those Zerglings. These rocks are now going to have to go down because obviously Stephano needs to get his 3rd base up and running. This 3rd base is being morphed into a orbital command for Pyro now. He's also still getting out those Hellions, just pumping them out. Blue Flame Hellions obviously very good. Reactor on the starport as well, so we're going to be getting 2 medevacs at a time. These Mutalisks here are moving in. 1-1 for the Mutalist is on the way. That missile turret is going to get temporarily stopped. Might actually get sniped down. Does get countered. That was great timing by Pyro there. But these Marines will force the Mutalisk back temporarily. More are on the way because 2 more hatches are even coming down. So Stephano taking his 3rd and 4th base simultaneously. He's got a lot of gas and a lot of gas there. A lot of minerals and a lot of gas, there as well. So, I mean, he can afford to do so. Those Mutalisks are just poking another council force on that missile type. A couple of SCVs should get picked off, but there obviously is that missile turret in the main mineral line, and also a lot of Marines there, so those Mutalisks are going to have a problem. But 6 more are on the way. Stephano spending that gas, spending it up great. 3rd and 4th base about halfway done at the moment, so I mean, he's got quite a lot of stuff, and those Marines are just sitting back, trying to get 2 more missile turrets up at this base. The main base actually looking slightly vulnerable here. I mean, he does have some missile turrets around, but these add-ons don't have, as far as I can see, any missile turrets defending them. Meanwhile, these Hellions are poking and prodding around just to see what's going on. Big drone transfer going on here, taking down the extra geysers and at the 3rd base as well. So Stephano will be up to 8 gases once those bases do finish. Meanwhile, 1-1 finish for those Mutalisks. 1-1 for the Terran ground army is about to be done. Terran infantry 1-1 will be finished any so soon. Stephano getting 2-2 as well. Meanwhile, if we take a look up here, very oversaturated, but these rocks have only just been taken out. 2 bunkers coming down, a lot of missile turrets. and that orbital command landing, obviously. Now, the Mutalisk count is actually starting to get quite scary. Obviously, with the double upgrades, it can be very, very effective. And really, Pyra isn't doing too much in terms of kind of harassment. No more drops going on. And if we take a look at what's been done so far, these Mutas are going to be pushed back. Pyra hasn't actually managed to get any more of Stephano's drones. The infestation pit is on its way down now for Stephano. This will be for Hive, I would imagine, so he can get 3-3 super quickly as for those Mutalisks. The Mutalist numbers are getting a lot higher, and Pyra just moving out with these Marines and Hellions and Medevacs. Going to force back the creep. Meanwhile, we will see that quite a lot of Zerglings are in here. I'm not actually sure if Stephano has a Baneling nest yet. If we take a quick look around, just trying to keep an eye on the main map as well. Can't see a Baneling nest immediately, but these Marines are moving their way around, obviously with all those Medevacs there. They could do a lot, but Stephano is going to get an engagement. I mean, those Marines are upgraded. Meanwhile, Stephano only has +1 armor against 1-1 Marines. The Mutalists will also get eaten, but do pick off those Medevacs. So, I mean, once those Medevacs are gone, every stim causes those Marines to get dangerously low on HP. The Hive on the way as well for Stephano, so I mean, that'll allow him to get those 3-3 upgrades for those Mutalists. 2-2 infantry, weapon and armor, only just started now for Pyra. He has got his third base up, but Stephano's on 4 bases quite comfortably. If we take a look at the loss tab, it's actually really favouring Pyra. Really favouring him. So, but obviously Stephano has got those 2 extra bases, which does mean that he has the income he needs. There goes the Baneling nest for Stephano as well. Not quite sure where he is getting that down at the moment. If we take a look down, there we go. Baneling nest is on the way, so Baneling's a great way to deal with Marine Hellion, because obviously both take bonus damage. These Mutalisks are moving around. That's a lot of Mutalisks. If we take a look at the Mutalist count, 21 Mutas are out. 2-2's going to finish any second, so these missile turrets won't actually be too effective. The Marines are quite out of position, so what's going to happen is Stephano just going to go for it, or what? Clumping up all of those Mutas, no Thors out. Siege mode only half done at the 16-minute 40 mark for Pyra there. 2-2 is on the way though, and +1 vehicle attack. And Stephano looks like he's just going to poke it. He can take down that missile turret nearly instantly without losing any Mutas. But there are quite a few there. They are all going to get picked off. The Marines will pull back now, and obviously that will force Stephano back. But obviously by taking out those defences, it will mean that this harassment from the Mutalists could happen very suddenly and be very powerful. 3-3 for the Mutas is also coming down as well now. Meanwhile, nothing really in terms of aggression from Pyra. He is looking like he's going to move out, but doesn't actually have any tanks. It's 2 tanks there coming now at the very back, but mainly Marine Hellions. So against Zergling, it will be very strong. I mean, it's almost as if Pyra is trying to metagame Stephano. No, Stephano really does favour the mass Zerglings and has gone for those Blue Flame Hellions purely to deal with that. But obviously the risk is the Banelings are coming in. 12 are on the way now. And these 2-2 Mutalists, there's so many of them, they're doing a lot of damage to that command centre. They're moving back up, and a lot of SCVs are there. A couple will get picked off, and Stephano's just got to be careful with these Mutas. As long as he isn't doing too much. I mean, he can pick off a tank here, pick off a couple of SCVs, and a couple of Hellions as well. A couple of reinforcing Marines, and this is just great play by Stephano, just picking off what he can. These tech labs and add-ons will go down, and obviously that is quite a big hit, because it really limits the production that Pyra can get away with. So got to be careful not to lose too much to those missile turrets or take them out. All of the reactors are going down. All of the add-ons are just getting completely rinsed. Meanwhile, we have got these Hellions poking around here for Pyra, just seeing what is going on, but obviously they're not going to be very strong against buildings at all. Meanwhile, Stephano is half done with his 3-3 upgrades, getting a lot more Mutas out, getting Baneling speed out, getting 2-2 for those Banelings and Zerglings, getting the Adrenal Glands, and getting 3 more Hatcheries, 1, 2, and 3. So, Stephano really going into mass production mode. He's got a lot of supplies nearly maxed out. Meanwhile, if we look at Pyra, he's got 2-2, 3-3 is just starting for him now, and he's still just staying very much on this Marine Hellion with a couple of tanks in the mix as well. So, I mean, Banelings are going to destroy this army. The Mutalists will be able to kill those tanks as if it's a hot knife through butter, and then obviously the Banelings and Zerglings can clean up. Now, there are a lot of turrets here, but obviously these are about to be 3-3 Mutalists, and there's so many of them. 31 Mutas, just going to completely destroy this. The Planetary Fortress should be able to be repaired up, but obviously so many losses of SCVs there just from the splash damage, and it even goes down as well. So great work there by Stephano. Taking a look down here, I mean, I'm just thinking this area is quite vulnerable. I'm surprised the Pirate isn't actually going for it, but he's got this middle position, so really is splitting Stephano down the middle, literally, in where he wants to defend. But these Mutalisks are coming in. They are 3-3 now as well, so they are going to do incredible damage to the tanks and the Hellions. The Marines can still deal with them, obviously, with Stim, because they are 2-2 Marines, but still, Stephano just moving forward, forcing that siege up on those tanks more and more and more. So, I mean, both players are now maxed out, and this is really a critical time. But Stephano, if you look at in the top right at the resources, has just so much money. Meanwhile, we also just see this base is up and running now, but Pirate is just moving out and is going to attack this 4th base pretty damn well. He's also getting a drop off on this 5th base, so could do a lot of damage, but the Mutalisks are moving in now, just dodging forward, dodging back. A lot of Banelings and Zerglings, and here goes Stephano, who's going to go in for this. He is just picking off those tanks with the Mutalisks, allowing the Banelings just to roll in and do huge damage to all of those Marines. Beautifully cleaned up, a good Marine spread by Pyra there. And, I mean, a lot of those Mutas are going down, and that base has fallen. So has the 5th base. And really, who came off worse there? Tough to say, but I think Stephano did a great job, but there's still a lot of Marines left. More Mutalisks are coming out. They are 3-3 Mutas. And, I mean, this is still a scary push. These hatches could very easily go down. There's not any Banes as far as I can see. If you take a look at, no Banelings are there yet. The Zerglings alone are going to go in along with the Mutalisks, but it should get cleaned up. And I mean, good defense by Stephano, but obviously he lost 2 bases in the process. Meanwhile, obviously, Pyra is down a base. He is on 3 bases. All 3 are actually still mining, amazingly. Actually, his natural is pretty much mined out, and his main is pretty much mined out as well. So, really 1 mining base to the 1, 2.5, and soon to be 3 bases. And Stephano will clean that up as well. So, Stephano taking down another base here as well. So, this will be his 5th base. Obviously, good 5th, 6th base as well. Obviously, Stephano just re-expanding. He has got a big supply lead. Only just now getting the Great Aspire. 23 minutes. That's quite late for a Great Aspire. But obviously, 3-3 upgrades are done. 3-3 melee and ground upgrades are going to be finished as well. So those Broodlords, if he does get them out, will do huge damage and be really, really strong and hard to take down for Pyra here. So I don't really know what Pyra's going to do. Obviously, he still hasn't even attempted to take that 4th base. Only to finish this command center again. And obviously that's a big risk because he's not going to have the economy in order to support this much longer. If you look at the top right of the screen, you will see that obviously Pyra is getting very, very low on minerals. So I'm not quite sure what he's going to do to deal with this. Obviously, the majority of his army is Hellion and Marine still, which is exceptionally mineral heavy with hardly any gas. And Stephano, that Great Aspire is about 2/3 done to 3/4, so should be out soon. Not getting any Corruptors in preparation, is pretty much maxed out. So to be honest, he's got to get rid of some of these units, some of these cheap Zerglings and Banelings, if he wants to get those Mutas out. He hasn't really got enough gas to deal with it. And obviously, Pyra is going to just move in. That macro hatch is going to go straight down, and Stephano is just biding his time. It's such great patience here. And the Mutalisks are moving up, surprisingly not trying to pick anything off. Meanwhile, the Mutalisks up here are just literally destroying the entire base of Pyra. All of his production facilities are down. It doesn't really matter though, because this is pretty all in at this stage for Pyra. He's got so little income, he's got so few bases, and trying to take this other base, but I mean, these Mutas are just going in. 3-3 Mutas in this sort of number just do huge, huge damage to everything. Meanwhile, Pyra, I'm not actually sure where he's looking, because he is moving in down here, taking out this 3rd base of Stephano. Obviously that is good, but Stephano has so much in the bank, has so much supply anyway, he is maxed out that he's just completely destroying all the production facilities. So this is all in. Meanwhile, Stephano is just going for it, and there is the GG. Just so much at the end there. Couldn't get the camera in every place at once. So great play by Stephano, really patient and really worked out well. So thank you very much for watching, everyone. If you did enjoy, please subscribe to my YouTube and follow me on Twitter. Thank you very much. Bye for now.